that every Zerg player has gone down already. Now it's only Protoss and Terran. Oh. Now this is the ESL Open Cup Asia that I'm used to. Oh boy. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have our Chinese Protoss player representing the Starving Camels, SSLT. It is Cyan. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing SLT, not SSLT, representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. Here we go. One of the best Protoss in China going up against the best Protoss in Taiwan. Oh boy. Matchup that we see from time to time, especially in ESL Masters Asia, in the Asia region. And we'll see how they do compare to each other. I say Cyan is one of the best. I do think Cyan and Maxed are pretty comparable. There's just so many good Protosses in China, actually. Like Cyan, Maxed, Firefly, Jeshi, they've all been doing so well for themselves. They've all been improving so much over the past 6 months. I think I would probably say that Firefly and Jeshi are top 2, but even then, like, I don't know. I feel like the difference between all 4 of those players is quite slim, and they do go back and forth. So yeah, clearly a lot of these Protoss players have plenty of experience in PvP and is Nice up to the task. As for the time being, we're going to be going for these gate expand openers. Gateway into Cybercore into a natural base. Both players are doing their hardest to delay each other's natural. Pylon block has been thrown down from Nice. Likewise, pylon block gets thrown down for Cyan, and we'll see who flinches first. As we do get a cancel in the end. Nice does end up getting out his first Zealot. That's kind of the big thing here, is that both players are forced to chrono out Zealots. They would love to avoid the Zealot, but that's how the meta has evolved over time. The advantage that Nice has is that he canceled his Pylon, so he actually isn't investing anything into this delay, and he is going to be getting a kill on the Pylon of Cyan. Oh, but he throws out the Cybercore. Never mind, Bobby, never mind. So Nice is forced to throw down the Stargate. He's like, okay, you've delayed me enough. I'm going to be going for a Stargate first before my base. Meanwhile, across the map, this Pylon still has not been dealt with. Nice has been very meticulous with continuing to throw down Pylon after Pylon, canceling over and over again, making sure he doesn't overcommit, making sure he doesn't waste any resources. And as a result, Cyan is going to be, I believe, going for his natural base first. Or did I speak too soon? No, wait, there it is. So Cyan has the faster Nexus, meanwhile Nice has the faster tech, as the first Oracle is on the way. And now the way that this dynamic works is that Nice is looking to deal economic damage to make up for his worker deficit. Right now, the worker counts are pretty even, but because Cyan has a much faster natural base, like, you know, he's going to be able to get a bit of an economic lead. Cyan already scouted the Stargate, so his Stalkers are getting in position. He's fully aware of the threat of an Oracle, and he even has control of the Zelnaga Tower as well. Now, as his Stalkers are in position to defend against the Oracle, that means that the natural base is a little bit more exposed, so Nice is going to try and pull apart the defenses of Cyan, ideally bring the Stalkers from the main base down to the natural as well. Here we go, the Oracle does dive in, rushes past the Stalkers in the end. He's going to get one probe, but oh no, is it going to go down? Thankfully it does barely, oh god! Thankfully, it does barely survive. Meanwhile, 2 Stalkers waddle into the main base. Things are getting really chaotic, and I feel like Nice is losing a little bit too much. Oh. He's losing too much for not much value is the problem here, as Nice lost a Zealot. He's going to be losing both Stalkers. And what did he get? He got 1 probe? Yeah. 2 Stalkers, 1 Zealot for 1 probe. A little bit wasteful there from Nice. Now he's going to be joining forces with his second Oracle. With this, he's going to be able to one-shot workers, but his first Oracle took so many hits earlier that it is so vulnerable here. Yeah, the target firing is so good as well. Cyan does focus down the weakened Oracle, and Nice has to back off. Oh, he does have to back off. He does have to respect the Stalkers of Cyan. And behind this, we're throwing down additional gateways. This is looking to be a 2-base all-in from Nice. He's going for 4 gates. Oh, even a Dark Shrine as well. My god. That's a lot of production from Nice. That's a lot of tech from Nice as well. He is looking to expand as he throws out a pylon, but I believe that's fake. I don't think he really intends to invest and take that 3rd base. But we shall see. Did I miscount? Okay, no, yeah, 4. 4 gates. And meanwhile, as Cyan moves out, does get caught by the stasis trap as well. Cyan is just working towards his own tech. He's going to have faster blink. Going to be going into his rotor production momentarily as well. Nice is going for that 3rd base, so I'm curious if he's actually going to... Yeah, we have a shield battery on the way, so Nice. He confirms that his opponent is stuck on 2 bases, especially with the stasis trap. He's going to try and take an economic lead. This is peculiar, because Nice invested a lot here into his tech and into his production, and he's not really going to be making use of it. He has it available, but clearly he wants to catch up economically. Also, the hallucinations that are coming out from Cyan are just beautiful. He sees everything. Looking at his vision, the Dark Shrine. The Dark Shrine has been spotted, and he double checks to make sure that it wasn't cancelled as well. So these ETs aren't going to be much of a surprise. It's going to be that much more difficult for Nice to deal damage with them. We already have an observer out for Cyan. Now, when I say difficult, I don't mean impossible. You know, it's one of those things where even if you have cannons thrown down, if you have enough DTs, you can DPS down the cannon, and you can still get out of control as well. So there is still going to be potential here with the Dark Shrine. If he wants to, he can also just use it to morph in Archons as well. We have seen many Protoss players, like such as Max, Pax, or Hero, or even Classic, just use this Dark Shrine as a stepping stone to get into faster Archons as well when they need them. The way the dynamic works is that if your opponent is going for a gateway heavy composition like Stalkers and Zealots, then Archons, they annihilate Zealots. It's actually disgusting how well Archons can trade against Zealots, just because Zealots are light units and Archons do bonus damage to said units as well. Not just bonus damage, but also splash damage. It's pretty insane. But here we go. Cyan gets tagged by the Revelation. He's going to be moving out with 2 of these Immortals. He has Blink. No major upgrades, but he's going to be pushing towards the natural base, towards the 3rd even. Stasis Trap does get triggered. Both of them get triggered by only a single Stalker each. And Cyan, oh my god, his army is just insane. Looking at the unit stat, he has double the Stalker count. He has 2 Immortals as well. Cyan took a 3rd, but he never really focused too much on saturating it. Nice did. Nice has such a massive worker lead because of his 3rd base. He has 5 shield batteries. Shield batteries are good, but not that good. Not in the face of these Immortals. We do have some reinforcements coming in from behind, so it looks like Nice is going to try to pull apart the attention here of Cyan. But he just aggressively blinks on forward as well. We do have his Immortals becoming a little bit exposed. One Immortal is going to go down, but GG gets called. Nice. Cyan will take game number 1. GG. Powering on up so heavily there, not concerned with the forge or any kind of upgrades. Just make 2 Immortals, just warp in some Stalkers and just push out across the map. He was able to catch Nice being a little bit too greedy, in a way too greedy, right? Like, again, Nice, I'm sure there was a lot of pressure on him to get ahead economically, so he was just like trying to get his 3rd base up and running and get it fully saturated. Unfortunately, it took him too long to realize and recognize that, hold on, Cyan, he isn't really probing. He saw the army moving out, but by then he had already made all those workers. By then he had already made so many probes, and less so when it comes to his army. So GG, very well played. Cyan does take a lead in this series, and we'll see where game number 2 takes us. We'll see. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that Sue isn't here this time. I mentioned Sue earlier. Sue was here on Saturday for KSL, but it's possible, I mean, today's Monday, it's very possible that he's like working. He may just be otherwise busy with other engagements, and that's maybe why we don't really get to see him too often in the ESL Open Cup. So A little bit unfortunate, but you know, we still have plenty of other players here that we can fawn over, and one of them is here in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, the Chinese Protoss player representing the Starving Camels, SSLD. It is Cyan. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. Ugh. My brain is still recovering from the weekend, okay? Like, I did not get a lot of sleep, I'll be honest. Both Saturday and Sunday, I wish I could sleep in. I wish I could, like, after going to bed at like 7 a.m., I wish I could sleep in even further, but no, it can be hard to do. It can be hard. But here we go, getting into our second game. Now, this time there is no ramp coming into the natural, so as a result, both players are going to be going for double gate openers, or 2 gate openers. It is typically not safe to go for a gate expand. Oh my god. It's not safe to go for a gate expand, but Cyan is doing it anyway. He's pulling a max packs. He's crazy. Okay, let's go. Things are about to pop off. All right. So, Nice is going for a standard 2-gate opener, which with this, he's going to have access to units faster. He also plays with the mind games. Cyan has his probe in the main base, and there should be a second pylon. There is a second pylon, but it's on the map. It's here out on the map. So basically Nice is faking out a proxy. He's faking out a proxy pylon. Technically the pylon is proxied, but it's on Nice's side of the map. It's a fake proxy. It's only to get inside the head of Cyan. Cyan is forced to send out a second probe just so we can scout and confirm what is going on. Meanwhile, Nice goes for his own probe scout. He confirms the natural base on the way, and this is going to force a reaction, a big reaction out of Nice. Typically, again, because of how fast this Nexus is, like, you need to punish it in some way, shape, or form. It does need to be punished. Meanwhile, Cyan is checking the left-hand side of the map. He will not see the pylon. Is still looking for any kind of proxies. Nice throws down his Stargate on his side of the map, and he's going to be going for double Adepts behind this. Adepts are a really good harassing unit. They can one-shot workers, but oh no, he cancels it. Okay, there's so much happening right now. Adepts are going to be caught out here, out on the map. We have a forge being thrown down, a very fast forge from Cyan. Cyan, off of 1 gate, he goes gate, expand, Stargate, forge. He has very little production right now, and we'll see if he's going to get punished for it. As Nice, no, he goes for his own Nexus. Okay, he's not going to go for an all-in. He takes down a pylon, but for the most part, he's not going to be able to punish Cyan too much, and this is pretty big. Once Cyan is able to deal with this, like, he's going to have so many advantages. He's going to have faster, not just a better economy, but a better army as well. As long as he's able to repower this forge, he can get into +1 insanely quickly as well. And Nice knows that. That's why he was able to depower this forge. He's even chipping away at it as we speak. Behind this, we have a Void Ray. We have a Phoenix on the way as well for Cyan. Oh boy, this is so peculiar. He's going to be banking up... Okay, never mind. I don't know what's going on anymore. He was making a second Phoenix. He cancels it. He makes an Oracle. He cancels that, and he goes for a Twilight Council. So, yeah, Cyan, he's just off the cuff, you know? The improv is real as we do go back into Stargate, into Phoenix production. Okay. Meanwhile, Nice reacts with the Dark Shrine. This is PvP. This is the beauty of PvP. You know, no one knows what the hell's going on. Everyone's just doing whatever they can. Oracle's gonna go across the map. It's gonna run into the Void Ray. Does cast a Revelation. Does see that Phoenixes are being produced. Very important scout here by Nice. As he does race his way back home. Meanwhile, we have a proxy gateway being set up to get into those DTs, and we don't have any detection. There's no robo. But there's a cannon. This forge isn't even repowered, by the way. It's not even powered. That's why we can't actually make any upgrades. But we have a cannon being thrown down here, as the forge doesn't need to be powered to throw down any cannons. And that will provide detection for Cyan. Wow. He doesn't have an oracle. He doesn't have an observer. He doesn't need it. He's got DTs. I mean, he's got cannons. It's wild. Finally, we're getting into the rest of our gateways. Nice goes for a giga-fast third base, because obviously his own natural was far later than his opponent. He wants to get into a faster third. Very, very similar. Very reminiscent of that previous game. Game 1. Ooh, DT waddles in. DT goes down. But the only form of detection is a cannon. We don't have any mobile detection, so this DT is going to get a pylon. Is it going to get a cancel? There's no way. Yeah. We have an observer on the way, so we're going to get a kill on this pylon. We shouldn't get a cancel on the base itself. Oh, but we have more stalkers on the way. Nice. It does have that stalker advantage, and with that, he's going to be able to try and punish this third base. At the same time, an oracle dives into the natural. It does distract these stalkers, and that means they can't defend. Up. That's a kill, not a cancel. That's the second time this has happened. Oh my god. Today, I should say. Not this series, not this series. Oracle does go down, but for 13 probes, well worth it. Oracle more than pays for itself. Meanwhile, the DTs get the kill. Well, the DTs and the stalkers get a kill in that third base. Nice, with a massive lead. Look at the worker count. Nice is fully saturated on these 3 bases. Uh-oh. But he's forcing a reaction out of Cyan. Oh no, are we going to get a repeat of game 1? Where Nice has like an insane economy and Cyan just pushes out and kills him? I mean, Phoenixes aren't the best unit right now. We do have charge, at least. We're going to be able to get on top of all of these stalkers. Shield battery is done, but where's that overcharge? There we go. The overcharge is going to be popped. It's going to try to keep everything alive, but no, it does get focused down, and Cyan is pushing his way through. Oh, the Void Rays and Stalkers a little bit too far behind, though. They do lack some of that DPS. It looks like Nice does hold on. Oh, things are looking a little bit scary for a moment there. Did lose the shield batteries. He's going to have to replace them. But Nice is getting away with his economy this time. He survives, and now he can counterattack. Now he can push back. In the main, we have our gateways. We have the Prism on the way as well. 8 gates up and running here for Nice. Cyan still trying to get his own third base up and running. And alas, his unit composition is a little bit more peculiar as the Void Ray goes down. He's going for Chargelot Phoenix, which is an interesting composition. I don't think it works too well together. We'll see. I mean, Zealots do well against Stalkers. Phoenixes can CC Stalkers as well. As a couple of these units are going to be going down. The Prism is going to be under threat as well. Nice, a little bit careless with his Warp Prism, but the Blink Stalkers, they stand strong. They're able to push on through. Oh boy. DT waddles into the natural base as well. The cannon wasn't enough to deter the DTs. Now the third base is under threat once again. Ay. Phoenix is getting picked off one after the other, and really that's one of the big advantages that Cyan had was his Phoenix count, and now that's being stripped away from him. And is it being taken away? And the Stalker count from Nice is just too large. Even without the Prism, even without Warpins across the map, the reinforcements are just too much. We blink on forward, we take down the first Immortal, soon to be the second. GG gets called. And we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Oh, let's go, Papi. Let's go. Catching up in the chat. Hello, Droptimus. Oh, Alpha X Droptimus. Welcome. It's been a while. It's been a while, Papi. Been a while. Hope you're enjoying the stream. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? No clone in the chat as well. Starlight Twinkle versus the Starving Camel. It is the WTL teams facing off here in the individual leagues. You love to see it. Love to see it. But I hope everyone is doing well. Shout out to Noam Chomsky in the chat as well. Welcome, welcome. Oh boy. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3, and it's going to be taking place on Dragon Scales. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, it's a very fancy portrait. It's very shiny. Very shiny indeed. As we're getting into game number 3, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the Chinese Protoss player representing the Starving Camels SSLD. It is Cyan. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. Nice. And now that we are on a ramp map, as we saw in altitude, we should be seeing once again these gate expand setups here from our opponents. But Dragon Scales is a little bit different. So this map is quite small. The rush distance is very short as well. As a result, we can see a little bit of mind games taking place. Even though we have a gate expand setup, we could still go for like a one base all in and try to break the defenses of our opponents as well. We have seen Max Packs and players like Trigger do that quite often, just because of how confident they are in their play, their execution. So we'll see how this all does unfold. How it differs from game 1, for example, where if you remember in game 1, Nice was very meticulous with like throwing down and canceling pylons and just delaying the natural for as long as possible, but he himself was forced to go for a Stargate opener and delay his natural, and that kind of escalated and kind of started the chain of events that led into Nice's demise. Whereas his oracles, he made 2 oracles if you remember, didn't really do any damage whatsoever. Set him behind in a way. They forced him to try to be greedy to catch back up, and in his greed, he was killed. Oh. As once again, Nice does go for the cancelled pylon. It's going to be patrolling around said natural for as long as he can. Throws out another. Meanwhile, Cyan is going to be not messing around with any kind of control of like cancelling and rebuilding said pylon. He does finish that first building, but he doesn't throw down a cyber core. Meanwhile, across the map, that was another cancel on the second pylon. We have a third pylon thrown down, and Cyan has accepted his fate. He is going for a Stargate opener, and this is spotted by Nice. He's fully aware of what is going on. His probe did confirm the tech, the building. He knows. Across the map, we have a faster Nexus here from Nice. He's going for his own Stargate, a reactionary Stargate, and this is where things get really weird. So, yeah, I was about to say that we can get into Phoenix battles. Cyan checks, and Cyan also sees the Stargate opener. So both players know that both players are going for Stargates, and this can lead into mass Phoenix production from both players, because it's so unsafe to go for an Oracle. Cyan does have his first Phoenix on the way. This Zealot from Nice is going to dive up the ramp, confirms the first Phoenix, confirms the second one in production, and now Nice has to make a choice. Oh, he's crazy. Oh my god. This is wild. This gets scouted as well by these Stalkers. Cyan sees the Oracle that's on the way. It's going to be so difficult here for Nice to get damage done with his Oracle when there are 2 Phoenixes on the map, soon to be 3. There's a third Phoenix on the way for Cyan. Oh boy, best of luck to this Oracle. He's going to need it. Actually, we're going to be keeping it at... Okay. I appreciate this. Okay, so Nice, he hasn't lost his mind. He's not going to try and get economic damage done across the map. He has his Oracle, but he's keeping it at home defensively instead. Now, this is still a pretty big investment. I mean, he already made the Stargate anyway, you know, so may as well, right? Just make the Oracle just for some value. He's going to be trying to sneak out across the map as well on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, the additional gateways are spotted. Nice is setting up a 4-gate Blink Stalker setup here on 2 bases. Meanwhile, his opponent likewise does have additional gates on the way. It's going to be a little bit more tech heavy here, going for a faster robo. So Cyan is going to be, it looks like he wants to go for a mass Phoenix Immortal composition. Because he doesn't have a Twilight Council, that means he's going to be lacking in Blink Stalkers, and to make up for his, you know, lack of Stalkers in a Stalker v Stalker battle, typically we do want to invest into these Immortals. And we'll see if we get them after this first Observer. Going something like Immortal Charge Lot would make sense here against what Nice has. There we go, Immortals are in production. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes are across the map, going to be threatening the natural base. But Nice is in position. He was in position. Definitely was for a moment there, but in this drive-by, 3 probes are going to be going down. The Oracle gets caught out. We have the overcharge to keep the Oracle alive. It will survive the onslaught, will survive the flyby. But I can't say the same for those 4 probes. Meanwhile, the 3rd base has been spotted, and immediately Cyan is going to take a 3rd of his own. Is going to be far later than his opponent, but that's okay. Like, for the most part, Cyan is going to be having a pretty defensive outlook at the start of this game. Like, he doesn't have Blink, he doesn't have Charge. He has a pretty slow and immobile army outside of his Phoenixes, of course, so he's going to be active with his Phoenixes. He's going to slowly build up this Immortal count, slowly get into, I imagine, again, Charge or a Twilight Council of some kind. Meanwhile, every game so far, DTs, Dark Shrine on the way here for Nice. We'll see if he can get damage done with it. We'll see if he can keep that Dark Shrine hidden, because we have a lot of Phoenixes that are active on the map, and oh boy, Nice is going to be doing his best here to try to zone away those Phoenixes out of his own main. 2 more probes will go down. Oh, ooh, good blink, and it looks like 1 Phoenix will get picked off. Kind of worth it here for Nice. He loses 2 probes for Phoenix. I think Nice would prefer that trade, especially because he has the economic lead because of his faster 3rd base. He's already getting fully saturated, and now he's going to be looking to be active here with his Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, 3rd base isn't done yet. We don't have an overcharge. We don't have Charge either. But the Immortals are enough to push Nice away. The Nexus finishes up just in time. We now have an overcharge available here defensively at the 3rd base. Meanwhile, we're getting into double upgrades here again. This just solidifies that Cyan is going to be taking this very slow, very steady. Oh my god. He sees. The warp-in of the Zealot was insane, but at the same time, the Stalkers, they do dive into the 3rd base. They take down the shield battery. That DT run by was just a distraction, just to create an opening here at the 3rd. And Nice took full advantage of that. Now, the turns will table once we get Charge. Charge is on the way. When it does kick in, then Cyan can be active. Oh, but before that happens, Cyan has to be very careful. Shield's already triggered on 1 of his Immortals. We'll have to pull it back at the same time. While the Stalkers are busy dancing with the main army, Phoenixes go for a counterattack. But there are only 3 Phoenixes available. There's not going to be able to get too much damage done. Meanwhile, Nice, he bypasses the main army. He takes down the Zealot. He just walks straight into the natural. It's not going to quite make it all the way in. He picks off a Stalker, a Sentry, a Zealot as well. Good trades here from Nice. That Oracle from the start of the game is still alive as well. Getting a tag of Revelation on the Phoenixes. You love to see it. And behind this, Nice is just taking an insanely fast 4th. He has the money for it. But again, like, this dynamic is soon about to change. The Immortal count's getting higher and higher. Charge gonna finish up in 10 seconds. And when it does finish, then Cyan can be a little bit more aggressive. Then he can actually start to engage with these Blink Stalkers. Oh, before that happens, these Zealots are getting picked off 1 after the other. Do have a warp in there. Cyan getting ready for a fight. Oh, but he is going to be bleeding out a couple of these Zealots. Meanwhile, across the map, Nice getting away with his 4th base. We got +2 on the way for both players. I love this. We even have a stasis trap as well, so Nice has a safe spot here, a safe zone to pull back to. An Immortal goes down. 2 Immortals even. Yeah, and Cyan is just being picked apart. He just doesn't have the momentum he needs. Like, these Stalkers have just been getting so much value. Too much value. More Zealots down for free. Yeah, Cyan, he's just bleeding out too much. I'm afraid to look. 15 Zealots have died this game. We haven't even had a big fight. And here we go. Cyan going to be committing a little bit further here, but the mobility of these Stalkers is just far too much. Cyan just can't keep up. Not with such low Zealot numbers. Just over time, his army has been whittled away at even. Yeah, now even the Archons are being focused down. There's just too much Protoss, too much. Nice. He's pulling back to the safety of that stasis trap as well. Oof. Now he's got his own Zealots. Had his own Zealots. The Archons did a lot of work on them. But yeah, like with his 4th base, he has so many minerals to work with. I believe he is lacking a prism, but he may not even care about that. He blinks on forward, both Immortals go down once again. Without the buffer, Nice has to respect this army quite a bit. To be very careful with how he engages. Up! Ooh, stasis trap will go off. Good chunk of these Stalkers do get caught up in it. But at the same time, we have a massive DT run by. Cyan went for his own Dark Shrine. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. He does focus down that pylon. There's only one observer on the map, and it's across the map. Uh-oh. Okay, we have an Oracle. We at least have an Oracle, but Cyan has broken free. Due to that DT run by, Nice had to turn everything back around. Not just that, but also the stasis trap as well. Cyan having a good couple of moments here. It does mean that he's going to be able to get his 4th base up and running. And again, this Immortal count, this Immortal army is still pretty devastating. Like, we've seen how well it can trade here against Nice. As Nice is taking one of Cyan's bases. Oh my god. 5th base on the way for Nice. Once again, he's going to be moving out, but unfortunately, the reality of the situation is that Cyan has a more sophisticated army. Nice, he's got a really mobile force here with Stalkers and Zealots, and he can like outmaneuver and outcontrol his opponent. But in a straight up fight, Cyan wins. In a straight up engagement, Cyan will completely crush this army. And Nice has to recognize that. He has to be very careful with how he maneuvers. He has to avoid these Immortals as best he can. And we can see that happening as we speak. He's just going to be trying to catch some reinforcements wherever he can. 2 Zealots go down. But he just cannot engage with the main army. Not with what he has. I'm surprised that Nice hasn't teched into Disruptors. But I just remember that he lost his first robo. But honestly, like, Disruptor production right now would be amazing. The problem with Purification Novas is that it's so difficult to connect with Blink Stalkers, but nothing here can blink. Nothing here can avoid Novas. But Nice, he's committed here to his Blink Stalker army. I mean, you can make this work. It's just really difficult. Just really difficult to pull this off if you are Nice. Like, your army, it's kind of like a glass cannon. Has a lot of potential, but one wrong move and everything will die. The Nice is playing on a knife's edge. He's going to be able to focus down one of those Immortals. But only one for the time being, as that Archon count is insane. My god. Cyan bullying Nice back. Got Blink on the way to get into our own Blink Stalkers. Shadow Stride as well for Blink DTs. Nice does trigger one of the shields on those Immortals, so good moves overall. He's able to get away with that 5th base mining as well. So Nice is going to be the first player to max out. Oh, in a way, he's looking to outposition his opponent as well. Cyan was not expecting Nice to come in from behind. But only gets a shield battery and 1 Stalker. Now he knows that the army's out of position. I love this. Rotating over towards the left-hand side. This base is looking so vulnerable. He's going for these fringe bases. But Cyan is able to keep up. DTs are going to be able to hold on here as well. Has Cyan seen this? Yeah.
Guys are exhausted.
Cyan has Diva. I think they both have Diva actually. But here we go. We have a massive Zealot DT right by here towards the top right. At the same time, Cyan's main army again bullying Nice away. Cannon will fall the base as well. Nice has to just completely give it up. He's gonna try to save this. He does have an observer with his army, to be fair. Boy. Looks like his army's positioned to commit. He wants to hold on to this base, regardless of what happens. Does take down another one of these Archons. Oh my god. But who is the first to make disruptors? Cyan. We have the first disruptor on the way. The Immortals do lose a lot of their shields. But with the arrival of these disruptors, I really do worry here for Nice. Of course, he has Blink, so these Novas shouldn't really do too much, but they do kind of deter any kind of offensive, aggressive Blink from Nice. They force him to take even more care with his control. Nova's going to be going off. Good target firing. The disruptor will go down. Second disruptor as well. Nice is committed. He's breaking on through. Overcharge was already wasted earlier. And now there's only 1 Immortal left. Solid fight there from Nice. He was able to focus out, I think it was 2 or 3 disruptors without a single Nova going off. They did not detonate. And now Nice can snowball. There's only 1 Immortal left. When he realizes that, he can just blink on forward. Disruptors are going to keep him back. Up. Nice is going to dance with those disruptors, but there are only 2, and now he can push on forward. Once again, he does take a stasis to the face. Overcharge is popped once again for Cyan. He is holding on for now. The disruptors have reset their Novas. We have 3 available. Now only 2. And Nice was able to get into disruptors of his own. And I do think that he can have a lot more success. And here we go. Nova goes. Oh no! It doesn't go off. Oh. And Cyan's does. A massive Nova on the army of Nice. At the same time, a DT counterattack as well. The cannons are falling left and right. Nice trying to focus on the main engagement, but he can't break through. Okay, DTs are being cleaned up. Another massive stasis goes off. And if Cyan can time this well, he can kill these Stalkers with a Nova. Can happen. Here we go. Nova is Stasis is about to run out. Nova's going to be going off, but oh, it does connect with some of our friendly Zealots here. Oh my god. But the disruptors are going off one after the other. But Nice, he got every disruptor and Immortal once again. His target firing has been on point. Yeah, and he's going to be able to overwhelm. He's going to be able to take a better fight here as well. Stasis trap will not go off. And Nice is snowballing out of control. I was really concerned that he was going to be overwhelmed by the robo army of Cyan, but no, his control was good enough. His target firing was more than good enough as well. Again, in that first big fight, he was able to take down so many high-tech units without taking a single Nova to the face. That changed a little bit later on, but for the most part, he has been able to out-trade Cyan. Now, this base will fall. DTs are doing what they can to force back the army. As Cyan takes bottom left. He didn't lose too many workers, only 9 probes went down, so Cyan's economy isn't looking too bad. Cancel the base. Okay. Base has, I mean, on the 4-base economy, things are still not looking too bad here. I think it was that an accident? I think Cyan, he needed a warping. I think he needed another warping of units. He needed whatever money he could get. But alas, Nice still has too much. Far too many Stalkers. The cannons go down, the shield batteries, just everything here. Nice has done it. He's been playing on a knife's edge this entire game. And he doesn't have detection, so these DTs are putting in a lot of work. But the Observer does fly in. The power of the Observer, with the power of detection, GG gets called, and Nice will take game 3 and the series 2-1. Oh, GG. Oh my god. Oh, that was wild. Oh my god. That was so close. That was so damn close. In that first big fight, if a Nova had connected, if Cyan was able to actually find a juicy connection with his disruptor, then everything would have changed. But no, Nice, it was on point. It was on point with his Stalker control. Was able to overcome the might that is Cyan, and GG. GG, well played.